It's that time again.
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
Welcome to the Courtside Podcast. I'm your host, Wayno, and with me, the People's Champ, Vinrock. Vince, welcome back to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me back, Pickles.
You're the working man now.
Yes, and I've forgotten how to podcast in the meantime, so good luck.
While you gather yourself and try to remember, let's introduce the third co-host, Sydney's second richest man, Stu Benson.
I thought we got that clear. I'm being introduced as Australian Auctioneer of the Year.
Well, I was going to bring that up. You beat me to the punch. God damn.
Joke's on you guys. I didn't forget how to podcast. I never knew how.
Oh. So where do you have the trophy in the house? Where is it? Is it sitting above the bed? Is it?
We drilled a hole at the top of it, and it's got a big Run DMC gold chain, and I wear it.
You wearing it now?
Wearing it now.
Do you wear it while you're on the workbench, mate? Just
if this trophy's rocking, don't bother knocking.
Nice.
Oh boy.
Darling, something feels bigger. Shut up! Don't turn the light on.
Goodness.
I got a question for Benson, actually.
Yeah.
Since you are Auctioneer of the Year, does your fee raise from 1 million to 1.5 or?
Funnily enough, the awards night was on a Thursday night, and the Friday morning I got back and I typed up an email to my entire distribution list, and the heading was immediate rate increase. And then in the body of the email it was just ... just kidding, thanks so much for the support. But it certainly got the open rate higher than it's ever been.
Nice. Well,
it's good to be back.
it is great to be back. Look, if you're a new listener to the show, you can catch all our madness at the website, www.crtsde.podbean.com. Guys, down there you'll find links to the show, our mini-sodes, our regular shows. Today, we are back after a little bit of a hiatus. A fair bit to get through tonight's show, so we should jump into it right about now. One thing, look, it just seems to come up every single year, and I just don't know if the kid's if he's just hung up on it, but did you guys see the other day, John Wall?
Yeah.
He's got it in his head about this top 5 point guard in the league and being disrespected and no one acknowledging that. Are people not acknowledging it because it's not true?
You know, it's funny. I've never. I like John Wall's game, but whenever I watch the Wizards play or think of him, I never think, top 5.
Yeah.
Just never do.
Yeah.
And might I add, looking at, I'm far better from me to throw shade at one's physical appearance, but looking a bit pudding, isn't he?
Oh, God. He's not Raymond Felt.
No, but he's not as svelte as I thought he'd be. Like, he's not.
Yeah.
He just looks like he's enjoyed
The off-season.
a little too much.
He's enjoying the off season. He's got that ragged nappy head look going on. He's, I'm the same. Like, I'm a Wizards fan. I'm a Wall fan. I don't know. And he's got a gear. He's got a motor. Like, you want him on your team, but he's not top 5. He's just not.
Top 10?
Yeah, he's top 10. He's not top 5.
It keeps coming up year after year, and I just keep thinking, mate, like, stop worrying about the accolades. Like, stop worrying about the self-accolades. I'm sick of reading about you thinking you're top 5 and no one giving you respect. It's like, how about you win something first?
Yeah, and before that, it was about he and Beal being the best backcourt in the league. That was his last gripe.
And now they've signed Dwight, so kiss all that goodbye. Zing.
Just needs to concentrate on winning as many games as possible for the Wiz, because if you start winning and going deep in the playoffs, that's when people start taking note and putting you in the top 5, not before.
Look, a little bit of a surprise move while we had our little vacation from the show. Jahlil Okafor signing with the Pelicans. I was a bit confused about this one.
It's a strange signing. Like, where are the minutes going to be?
If I'm Randall, I'm a little bit ticked.
Well, he shouldn't be, because he's not playing ahead of Randall.
Well,
that's
I
for
know
sure.
that, but it's like, if I'm Randall, you know what? I've just come off a season with LA where I came off the bench and proved my worth and showed what I can do. I just signed a deal with you guys. Get your own minutes.
One of his biggest gripes in the whole free Jalil movement was that there was a logjam at his position at the Sixers. Oh, I know where I'll sign. Probably the second biggest front court in the league.
Yeah.
He should have just called Pop and said, "I will play for the minimum. Just make me a better player." Like I think he can be still a very good NBA player. He just needs to get to the right team. Give him minutes, he'll do well, but that's where I would have gone. Pop could have turned him into a really good player a lot quicker.
I think he should have stayed in Philly. I think he should just shut up and stayed in Philly and just... I mean, he's gone from, 17.5 points per games and 7 rebounds in Philly to Brooklyn, where he played 26 games and averaged 6.4 points per game. Ouch.
Yeah, but went to he couldn't stay at Philly. Went to Brooklyn, coming off an injury, wasn't right. Then didn't get minutes. He's gone to all the wrong places so far, and to sign at New Orleans is baffling. I dare say he won't get a lot of minutes there.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get a lot of minutes either. I think that, honestly, I could rattle off 15 teams off the top of my head that he just seems like a better fit for. It's a bizarre move.
Okay, go. 15 teams, go. No, I'm joking. Joke. I kid.
It's crazy.
It's just, I've got it. I've worked it out.
Right.
Okafor is actually the backup for Okafor.
For Emeka?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's on old legs.
Wow. I actually was hoping Emeka would just find his way across to Los Angeles.
Yeah, I was hoping that too.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I love Nick.
Just a veteran presence, just how about the young centres we've got? Bang some bodies.
Speaking of LA, don't mind if I jump into a little bit of LA talk right now, a bit early?
Please do, please.
I think we're okay with that.
Look, something surprising happened between recordings. You guys brought in Super Cool Bees.
Oh,
I really like that.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I like everything he's been saying so far. I mean, it's no secret that we are not even secret. We're big fans of Beasley on the show. And I like the fact that he come out...
Cool Bees fan club.
Yeah, I like the fact he's come out already and defending his teammates, like he's defending Lonzo Ball. I just, man, Bees, I just hope it all works out for that kid because he's such a talent.
I can't wait for 2K19 to drop because I'm just going to go nuts with this team. But, I love what he said about Lonzo Ball. You're right, he's saying all the right things. And, we've got another guy who can create, another guy who can spread the floor. I love it. Loving it.
I think that season in China really opened his eyes.
Well, we did say that, didn't we?
Yeah.
We said that. It was just waiting for Bill Simmons to pinch that one. What do you reckon, Benson? I think you were just about as happy, if not happier than me.
I'm giddy about this whole roster. The interesting thing is, I love that they're all short contracts because we get to have a fun season. We're not going to waste LeBron, and LeBron's not going to waste the season. So there are already polls putting Lakers top 3 in the West, which is awesome. Just purely on the metric that LeBron makes everybody around him better, and he's literally he's picking this team himself. This is a hand-picked squad. With the exception of Kuzma, Ingram, Zubac, and Ball, he's essentially had a hand in every single signing. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun, but this is just, man, I know Bees is your favourite player's favourite player. I think it's your favourite team's favourite team. This is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. One thing, look at the roster, I think Walton's going to have his work cut out for him, just juggling the egos and the different personalities. I shouldn't say egos. I think more the different personalities on this team, especially if you guys couple of losses. I mean, you got LeBron, you got McGee, Beasley, Lance, Rondo, and then of course the LeVar Ball factor in this. But yeah, you're dead right. I think it's going to be a pretty fun season to watch.
I think if anyone was going to be at the helm of that team, LeBron and Walton are a pretty good combo.
I love Luke, and I think he's doing a great job. He's a player's coach. Players love him, and I think LeBron will love him. I think Lance will love him. I think Bees will love him. It'll just be one big happy family.
You guys have got
It's going to be so much fun to watch.
you guys got the LA bug bad this season. You guys.
Oh, it's honestly, my head is like, I remember when we got Peyton Malone, and I'm just like, this is crazy. Look at our roster. This is crazy. I'm more excited that we've got Rondo and Stevenson and McGee. Like, it's hysterical, but it's going to be awesome.
It's just a team full of crazy. That's great.
Yeah, it is. It's batshit crazy. Cannot wait.
Look, you guys got the forum early. There's been a lot of, not criticism. Criticism. We can say criticism, but there's been a lot of fans out there or not fans of LA predicting that the Lakers will miss the playoffs this season. Do you guys want the forum to address that early on?
Haters going to hate. You know, they just want us to fail because, you know, they're just jealous. It's all it is. It comes down to jealousy, and that just gives me so much satisfaction knowing that these people are jealous and that we're back. We're going to ride that tidal wave once again very, very soon. The plan, like Hannibal Smith said, I love it when a plan comes together. This plan is coming together nicely.
Come on, LeBron. Did anybody see the team that LeBron took to the finals in Cleveland last year? He's a game changer. He is. Come on.
He dragged Ty Lue kicking and screaming.
Yeah. Man, come on. Miss the playoffs? Are you kidding me?
It's going to be interesting. I can't wait.
How about those jerseys?
Oh, they're fire. I'm getting mine.
There's been some nice jerseys announced pretty early on already. It's been, I'm liking a lot of them.
What are your Grizz doing, mate? I need like a magnifying glass to read the font.
We just decided we're going to wear our Summer League kits instead this year. So.
May as well. No one will be watching, so you may as well.
We'll do all right this year. We'll be all right if everyone's healthy. We'll be all right.
You'll be lucky to win 26 games, but anyway.
What?
No. ESPN actually did a story on the biggest, like, who's going to have the biggest change around in season to season, and Lakers topped the list, but I think Grizz came in at second or third.
Mate, we have one bad season, and we have one really shitty year. Got the number 4 pick, and everyone's acting like we're fucking about to move to Seattle. Come on now, settle down. Grizz are fine.
Come around to Jaren Jackson. You can play.
Yeah, look, he'll be good for us. It wasn't what I wanted to happen in the draft, and once I got over that, I was fine with it. Like, the kid shows a lot of potential. I don't love his jump shot, but I don't have to, so, you know, there's that. But I don't know about that.
I think he could be better than Bamba. I think he did all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, he played fantastic Summer League. I'm not going to criticize the kid. It's just, as far as like having that pick and having Parsons on this team, I'd rather not have Parsons, so that's it. But we move on. Speaking about not rather having something, did you guys see what Blake Griffin now has to pay for fucking child support? God damn.
Man, I'd fuck him for that.
Look, what kid on this planet needs $32K a month? Is this kid suiting up for the Pistons next season? Is he like, holy sheep shit? That's not supporting the kid, that's supporting the fucking mum. Give me a spell.
It's 10% of his monthly. So, I mean, dude's doing all right if that's 10%.
She's already collecting cash from the NFL player she knocked up beforehand. Like, Jesus. Come on, man.
She knocked up. That's not how it works.
Well, look, I guess she's just unlucky in love, huh? I wish I was that unlucky. Fuck out of here. Are they using golden nappies or something?
You just haven't found the right pickle.
That's true.
And what about, on the flip side, Carlos Boozer's kid just turned 18, or something happened over in wherever his baby mama's living, and they had to renegotiate his payment, and his payment came down to $300 a month now that he's not employed, and his final contract payment ran out.
Well, it's not as if, like, where was
the guy who's got career earnings of like $150 million and his child support just dropped down to $300 a month?
Dude, Carlos
Boozer, you're the MVP.
If that was me, I'd pull all my money out, have a big fucking bonfire, all right? I'd be like, no one's getting shit. Here it all is. No one's getting shit. Let's burn some dough. Because I'm bitter like that.
Wayne, you bury it.
Bury it.
You bury it, you declare bankruptcy, and that's it.
And then I move to an island.
Wayne, what ethnicity are you?
Well, Tony Soprano had about $100,000 in his bird feeder, so
Jesus.
Just saying.
Jeez. Look, another player we had our eyes on during this off season. We were kind of wondering where he was going to end up. Really kind of happy he ended up there. Jabari Parker to Chicago.
I really hope he does well, but did anybody tell him they've got Laurie Markkinen there?
Yeah, I mean...
So is he coming off the bench as a sixth man, or won't he play him?
He could play some small forward, man. He could play some small forward.
Can he, really?
Yeah, I think
With those
so.
knees?
I think so.
I hope you're right, because he's got so much talent. I just want to see him bust out. But I don't know, I'm a bit...
Sorry, go.
No, I'm just a bit antsy about him going there. I don't know if it's the right fit.
I think they tried out Markkinen, Portis, and Parker together, and they just need to change them. I think he's a starter.
I like that. Yeah. I mean, I just think that sometimes, I mean, like, it's tough to say because you don't want to say, you don't want players to get injuries and stuff like that. But sometimes I watch players, especially young kids, that are just kind of 100 miles. Or the game just seems a little bit out of control, and I just kind of feel like we're having these two major injuries, and just like the other back end of this is also that Parker's such a hard worker. Like he's prepared to put the work in and prepared to sacrifice, and but I just feel like I think the injuries might be a little bit of a blessing in disguise, as in the fact that it will slow his game up a little bit. Because at Duke, he was very much 100 miles an hour, and he was kind of like that a little bit out of the gate from Milwaukee till he went down with the ACL. Now he's done his second one. I just feel like, look, as long as he can stay healthy, I think it might help his game a little bit.
He had some stints there when he came back. He looked as explosive as hell. You couldn't even tell that he'd had one done, let alone two.
And last year we touched on when he did get back. I think we all agreed on it that at times in Milwaukee, like just with him and Giannis on the floor at the same time, it's like they're just destined to run into each other on the court. Like they're very not similar players, but they kind of play the same position. They're kind of that tweener between small forward and power forward. They like to get out and run the lanes, and I just feel like at times I think this move away from Milwaukee is great. Milwaukee seemed happy to let Parker go as well. Free up a bit of cap for them as well. I'm glad there was no ill will between both parties. This was like a mutual thing, and they wish each other the best. So that's kind of cool.
Do you sometimes see? This is probably just me, but sometimes I look at Jabari Parker and you see Clarence Weatherspoon.
Oh, I don't. Clarence Weatherspoon's one ugly.
Oh no, you mean game?
Yeah. Probably he's a taller version, but sometimes just little. I mean, it's not a big comparison. Just a little bit here and there. I see a bit of Clarence Weatherspoon at his best.
It's funny you should say that, because last season in particular, some of the moves he was doing and some of the ways that he was just craftily attacking the basket, but for someone who's added quite a bit of muscle and weight and size to himself. I saw Derek Coleman, and I always used to think that Clarence Weatherspoon was like a poor man's Derek Coleman in terms of the way they played. So it's funny you can say that, because I liken them to the same sort of person.
I don't know. I feel like I said this when he came out. I felt like he had like a Grant Hill sort of feel to him. I mean, you guys seem to be going a bit bigger than that sort of frame, but I just like his crossover and his stutter step that he has. Like he just seems very agile. I mean, I know the injuries now hurt, but
got to be honest. I never saw Grant Hill in him.
No?
When he was in college, I thought he was like Melo version 2.0. I really that's
really
the first person he reminded me of. Yeah, I just thought he was just a scorer, and he was going to get buckets no matter what. He was always my second coming.
No word of a lie, Vince, though. But when I think of Clarence Weatherspoon, I think of Sloth from Goonies. Hey, you guys!
My God. Benson, what are we working with?
Look, big Sloth?
Sloth, man. He looks like Sloth. Come on now.
Are you for real?
Yeah, Google them. Put them side by side. Have a look. Anyway, move on from my ramblings.
You're a peanut.
Look, Parker said all the right things in the press conference as well. Somebody called him off about the comment about D-Rose.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And he really stuck after him and said, like, that dude, did everything for this city, has nothing to prove. He wasn't a failure. Like, he really turned it on that guy and basically just, said that this is D-Rose's city, and it was really awesome to hear him say that.
Yeah, you get a lot of guys in the press trying to push certain buttons to get certain answers, and that's what that guy was doing, that reporter. So kind of good that like Jabari is confident enough and aware enough to to recognise that as well and call it out. So that's cool.
I tell you, some of the American journos are getting as bad as the Australian journos, sports journos.
Oh, really?
Bro, hey. I've got to interject. Vince, if you're near a computer, do what I've just done and look, go and do a Google image search of Clarence Weatherspoon. Mate, to our listeners out there,
I'm dead right.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It's kind of funny that I sit in my car and record. I'm concerned that Wayno's in a garage with a window down. Mate, and what fumes you're ingesting.
I'm just saying.
I think you're thinking of somebody else, mate.
Anyway.
Clarence Weatherspoon, here we go. Wayne, there's something wrong with you, mate.
Probably. We've already established this on the show. We've already established it.
The rookie year Sixers jersey that he wore was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Was that a slam dunk competition one?
I think so. And I think he averaged like 16 a game in his rookie year. Not bad for a 6'5" power forward, but anyway.
Look, let's jump into the big hitters, the big moves, if you will, that happened on our little break. And we'll jump into Melo finally agreeing to a 1-year deal with the Houston Rockets.
That was anticlimactic. Let's talk about the big deals.
It really was.
Carmelo.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. A 1-year, 22 mil, 24 mil deal, I think it was. Man, I don't know.
Yikes.
I think I should have stayed in Atlanta and just have green light and go nuts. But it would have been a better squad than Atlanta put on the floor last year anyway. But I digress.
No, he needs to try and win, mate. He's too old to be doing that.
Well, so here's my thing. Here's the criticism I think we had last year of him is that with Melo, you saw it at OKC. 3 stars. I mean, Westbrook's jacking up so many shots. Obviously, he, over the course of the season became real close and bro-like with Paul George, and then that was kind of it for Melo. Melo's shots selection was basically bail out last minute, 24-second shot clocks because no one else could do anything with it. So I think he got a bit of a bum rap last year, but I also think that he's got to sacrifice. He's not winning unless he sacrifices, unless he's prepared to come off that bench. He's not winning anything.
He's not coming off the bench.
Yeah, he's not coming off the bench in Houston. No way.
You don't
he's
think?
Starting.
You think so?
Well, who's ahead of him?
I suppose.
Are you nuts? Who's ahead of him?
I don't know. I just don't think it works. I don't think it works.
Ariza's gone.
Ariza's gone. Who else went?
Mute's gone.
Yeah, they don't have anyone else, do they?
Sam Decker's gone.
Oh, he's in Cleveland, right?
He's somewhere.
They got their man.
Yeah. Let the rebuild begin.
Look, I defended Melo in OKC. It wasn't all his fault.
Mm-hmm.
And we did say ad nauseum he's got to sacrifice, but playing with a guy like Westbrook, who, mind you, had a worse 3-point percentage than Lonzo Ball. Apparently Lonzo can't shoot. Anyway, look, that's done. He's going to Houston. I think it'll work out better in Houston because you've got a point guard and a 2 guard for that matter, who will keep you involved in the offense and not just throw you the ball and say, 1 second left, shoot it.
Yeah.
So I think it'll work out. And they need firepower to compete with the likes of the Lakers and
the
Warriors. Just threw the Lakers in there.
I mean, everyone's gone to town on Melo this offseason, right? You guys have obviously seen all the comments and the gifts and things. So it's just, I feel like it's a bit of it's pretty unfair. I'd take Melo on my team, that's for sure.
It's a beat up, honest to God.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. Look, I don't think it's coming from any real hoop heads who know the metrics and know the game, but it's that's our culture and social media, and everyone's got an opinion and everyone's got a platform. But man, you are absolutely sleeping on Carmelo Anthony if you think that he's not going to win you a game or push you over the edge in a series, particularly with a team, that he's going to be surrounded by. And if Chris Paul's healthy, man, they were 1 quarter away from being in the NBA Finals, and they are better with Carmelo Anthony, and he will start.
What about defense?
And they don't play defense.
They don't. It doesn't matter. It's a perfect team for him, man.
Yeah.
You know who coaches him, don't you?
Mr. Pringles himself.
You actually said, what about defense?
Well, I know. Well, I mean, look, obviously I am fully aware of the lack of defense they have, but they now have even less defense than they had last year.
Yeah, but they've got more. This is the way they look at it. Hey, we're going to give up 10 more points, but we're going to score 20 more ourselves.
100%.
Yeah, there's only one ball.
doesn't matter. That's just
No,
the
I agree.
fucked up way.
Look, I get it. You know, like their plan is to outscore the Warriors, not to stop the Warriors. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then why you say this?
Hey?
Why you say these things?
Why you say these things?
I want to get my hands on a Carmelo Anthony Atlanta Hawks jersey, though.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
They sent him a jersey.
I saw the picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw LeBron. LeBron tweeted about it.
About his time in the ATL. Excellent.
So good.
Oh, boy. Look, just a quick shout out to Dirk Nowitzki, back for his season 21 in Dallas. What a champ.
I hope he plays till he's 50.
Oh, God, I don't want to see that. Jesus.
No, I do. I'm happy for him to sit on the bench for the next 10 years and come on every 10th game for 2 minutes and shoot a three.
Jesus.
I'd be totally down with that.
I love Dirk. It's like this.
Our Dallas fans listening are smiling, but also a small tear from the tear duct crying at the thought of that.
Did you see his tweet that he got randomly selected to do a drug PED test in the office?
Yes.
Like, I just said to the dude, "Did you see me play last season?"
Yeah.
Oh, God,
boy.
he's such an awesome dude, Dirk.
It's for nostalgia as well. I mean, we want to cling to these guys. I mean, there's, with no Duncan, no Kobe, we've got Dirk, we've got Vince Carter. Who else have we got with the old guard? I mean, they're gone.
Manu,
wow. Yeah.
Has he announced if he's back?
I think he's back. He's back next year.
far out. Powell needs to come home.
Even
Come
Wade.
home, Powell.
Wade's kind of like pushing it.
How crazy is it, though, that we're going to watch Manu without Parker, without Duncan? Like, it's weird.
Tony Parker in Charlotte is one of the strangest things. I'm happy for Kemba though, because I think like that's a good vet. Even if he's only there for a year, that's so much experience he can get from a Tony Parker. Like that's
And a whole new selection of teammates' wives he can go after.
I know, right? I mean, he better keep his hands off MJ's, or Jesus, that'll be the end of it.
Yeah.
She kind of looks a bit like Eva too. Just saying, quietly. She does not. I made that up. I'm sorry.
Quietly to our millions of downloads that we're going to get.
Yes.
It is a weird signing, but I'm sure we'll get to that.
Yeah. Well, look, we should jump into the big one. We're waiting for the Kawhi deal to go through, for a move to happen, and it finally went down, much to the disgust of DeMar DeRozan. It's Kawhi Leonard to the Raptors. He takes along teammate Denny Green. Oh, no, I think my son just woke up. I was too
What
late.
happened?
Oh, my son woke up. Hang on.
So you see what happens when you mention Danny Green?
I know. It's like when you say the Candyman 3 times in the mirror, right? Okay, I think we're safe. I think go back to sleep. Well, look.
What happens if you say the Candyman in the mirror three times?
Have you seen that movie, Candyman?
No.
Old horror movie from like back in the day?
Nope.
Stu, you seen it?
I know of it, but I refuse to watch it because I hate scary movies.
Yeah. So, the deal finally goes down, and we have Kawhi Leonard on his way to the Toronto Raptors. I don't know if you guys saw the photo of him with Masai. Thank you. I mean, just the same facial expression. Is he happy? Is he unhappy? I mean, he's out of San Antonio. He kind of got his wish.
He's unhappy.
He's unhappy?
Yeah, he's unhappy.
Look, DeRozan finds himself over with the Spurs. He's unhappy, or at least was unhappy with the way it went down. Some thoughts?
Here's my thoughts, okay? I'm going to be real quick here.
Do it.
DeRozan will be unhappy after this season because you realise he's playing with an old-ass team. Kawhi is... I've got no fear Kawhi will be at the Lakers because there's a reason why Paul George didn't come, and I'm telling you now, Magic and Pelinka said thanks, but no thanks. We know Kawhi's coming. So enjoy him for the year you've got him, Toronto, and then he's coming over to the land of championships to play with LeBron, and that's it. I mean, enjoy him. He's a rental.
I think Ujiri's a better GM than that. I think that he's going to get to February and he's going to want something for him. I don't know. And if his team starts to look kind of good, starts to maybe, I don't know, have a silver lining to what's going on this season, we might make a move on him this season.
Well, they ain't getting fucking coups.
No, I think, I still think there's a reason behind some of our signings and some of our assets, and some of them, the amount of them all being 1 yearers so that we can trade and have a fair bit of money coming off whoever the recipients' books are. So, we've got some pretty cool contracts that somebody would want rather than letting a player walk at the end of a season and leaving them with nothing. So, look, I don't know whether or not he even plays the whole season there. But that being said, DeRozan could easily average 30 this season. Who else? It's either him or Aldridge. I mean, they're going to get the ball run through them nearly every possession. I think he could average 30. He could legitimately lead the league in scoring, I think, from San Antonio. So that wouldn't surprise me. But I just feel sorry for him. He's in the West, so he's relegated to a first or second round knockout for the next foreseeable, couple of years until he can get out of that contract or get moved.
Interesting. Well, I think the Raptors, I think we sort of touched on it maybe our last show when we were talking about Houston and we talked about the re-signing of Chris Paul. I think same sort of theory. I know a lot of people shat on the Raptors when the move initially went down, but I think you kind of got to shoot your shot, right? Like you've got to take an opportunity when it's there. And well, let's face it. Even with LeBron blocking the Raptors for the last 4 to 5 years, I certainly feel like they hit their ceiling, and I don't feel like that team was getting past a Boston or even a Philly, really, to be honest. I think they'd have trouble against an Indiana team as well. So I feel like it was a move that, look, maybe you could argue that maybe they moved the wrong piece. Maybe they should have tried to move Lowry, but who the hell wants Lowry because he doesn't show up playoff time, so there's that. Yeah, look, I think the writing should have definitely been on the wall for DeRozan when they fired the coach of the year. Surely you got to be like, okay, there's a shake-up coming. The only thing, criticism I really have is, if he was promised that he wasn't going anywhere during Summer League in a private conversation, well, that is a bit of a shit deal, but at the end of the day, it is still a business, and like I said, writing's on the wall. I don't know how surprised you can really be. I hear the Laker theories about, a trade at the deadline. I don't know if that goes down or not. I suppose it just depends on the season that the Toronto have. If you're in Kawhi's camp, then surely going to a stacked West Coast, there might be some hesitation towards that, even if it is to go join the Great Lakers. But I think the biggest thing for Kawhi is that he's going to have quite a big culture shock this season. I think he doesn't realise how good he had it with the Spurs, the coach that he had with the Spurs, the franchise. Look, they had his back even when he was shit on them all last year. Do you mean there's plenty of stuff they could have leaked throughout the year and really sunk his boat, but did not because they're a class act, and I still believe that. But, he's going to have a rude culture change, I think, in Toronto. I don't think he sits the season. I've heard that float around, Kawhi sitting the season. I think a lot rides on his performance this year. So I think Toronto are probably going to get the most out of him. But yeah, look, if Kawhi does come to play, I saw the other day they signed Greg Monroe as well, so another backup big. But, if he does come to play, how good is he? Was the injury all BS? Was he just riding it out for a move?
If he comes to play and he's fine, he's top 3 player in the league.
How good are Toronto, though? In the East, sorry. With a healthy Kawhi, MVP kind of caliber Kawhi Leonard.
They're winning 50-odd games.
Yeah, they're definitely up there. They're not better than... I don't think they've got enough firepower to beat Philly nor the Celtics. They stay as the best team in the East.
Yeah, I think they'd struggle against Indiana in a 7-gamer.
Especially with Larry as your point guard.
Yeah. So there's that. So there's that side of it. It's Raptors fan. I can understand why they're upset, but it's sort of the inevitable. The writing's on the wall. Regardless if this a move or not, I think it's time for a shake-up in Toronto. I think this is a good thing. How long can you flog a dead horse out there? It's the same thing every season, right?
Yeah, something had to happen. I think we all knew that. And Casey was the first domino to fall. I do wholeheartedly believe that there was commitments or verbal comments made to DeRozan as to why he is this upset. I think that he thought that he was potentially a one franchise player. So, yes, it is a business, but, I think, for somebody who's given, he's their all-time leader in so many categories. I think they probably could have done it a little bit better.
Sure. And I agree with that. I agree with that. But
I didn't like his little sit-down interview. He just came across him whining. Just like his little sit-down interview with, I think, ESPN the other week was just like, oh, man, like, come on, bro. Like, let's just get it together. Like, this is going to be a good move for you. I honestly believe that. I think he's going to a great situation. And I like the deals. I like what Spurs got out of it. I think this is like the best case scenario for San Antonio, really. I mean, let's look at the year they had last year, right? You had Aldridge turn up all year, which was great. Yeah, you can argue the whole old thing, but I mean, they still made the playoffs. They still got a game on the champs. You know, and they did well, they are, but I mean, they did that all without a Kawhi Leonard and basically without a Tony Parker. They get rid of Tony Parker this year. You know, they get rid of Denny Green, who I'm not that super high on anyway. I always thought he was kind of spotty. He had some good games where he had like a stretch of, you know, 3 or 4 3-pointers, but then that was kind of it. You wouldn't see him next game. So
the Spurs got a ring because of Danny Green.
Well, look, I'm not saying he has earned his Spurs ring or anything like that, but I mean, I don't know. Overall, I've never been super high on him, but I mean, look, this year they bring in Dante Cunningham, a serviceable player. They bring in Marco Bellinelli. They got Forbes for another year. They bring in arguably one of the best shooting guards in the league in DeRozan. Rudy Gay's back. I mean, they also got a younger and a bit better this next season. So I also think the cloud has kind of gone in San Antonio this season as well, with the whole quiet drama being done. I think Spurs are in for a good year this season.
I don't think the Spurs can crack 50 wins this year.
Oh, really? I do.
Yeah, I think they'll round about the same mark as they were this year.
Oh, I think they definitely crack 50.
I don't know if they're better.
Yeah, I'm in the Benson camp.
They made the playoffs and beat Golden State without Kawhi, without like if you took that and just added DeRozan, I think that gives you enough to get over 50 wins.
Yeah, if Pau Gasol was 5 years younger and they actually used him, I would say yes, 50. But I just don't see it. LaMarcus is another year older. Is he going to turn up? Hopefully he does for their sake. You know, Patty Mills is a good spark plug off the bench.
Dude, you're still talking Spurs basketball, man. You're still talking a system that works, that's proven.
That's true. That is true. I just don't. I just can't see them cracking 50 wins. As good as DeRozan is.
What's the biggest hitch in DeRozan's game over the last, since he's been in the league? What's his biggest hitch? His biggest hitch been his outside shot, right? His mid-range.
Yeah, he fixed that.
They've got one of the best coaches for outside shooting on that coaching staff over there. I mean, they're going to be fine, man. I honestly, 50 games. I mean, I think this last season was the first time Pops won under 50 games. Was it?
So, who are they starting?
I don't know. That's for
DeJounte Murray.
Yep, I think I think he's got
Murray's a beast.
He's good, man. Yeah, that kid's good. He's
DeRozan.
He's still under the radar, that kid.
So Murray and DeRozan are your backcourt.
Aldridge,
Gay, and Powell. Is that? I mean,
forward. But wasn't
Aldridge, Gay, and Powell.
Wasn't Powell coming off the bench though?
He always starts like in about 2 months into the season. Pop goes, yeah, you're on the bench, mate.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I actually feel like I'm missing one. I feel like I'm missing a player. They
picked up Podol in the trade.
Oh, they got their.
Yeah, they got
I actually don't mind that kid.
And they got their young rookie.
Me too. Oh yeah, Larry Walker the 5th or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's good, man. I like that kid. He's good.
Hang on, mate. He hasn't played a fucking game
I'm
yet.
saying I like you. You play well in some leagues, and I like what I saw. So
the new young point guard as well, Derek White. Everyone's really high on that kid.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, big time. I don't know. They've got to get used to playing with each other. I know the system is the system, and Pop's got a formula, but I don't know, man. There's a lot of pieces, and there's no real standouts. Honestly, I think pretty much 80% of the ball goes through 2 players. I do think DeRozan. I think DeRozan and Aldridge will statistically have phenomenal seasons, but I don't know if they're better than they were last year.
Man, I'd almost place a slap bet, but you guys already owe me one, so you know.
What's a slap?
Yeah.
There's also the slight element of me not giving a shit because it's the Spurs.
Spoken like a true bitter Lakers fan.
They're going to be back to being the San Antonio Snooze.
I don't think so. I'm looking forward to what San Antonio do this year. I think they're going to be good.
Yeah, because you're a fucking Grizz fan.
So?
Yeah, well, you're going to watch them over your Grizz, aren't you? You got to be something to be excited about.
Oh, here we go.
Parsons for 3. Sorry.
When will that be? He's got to get on the court first. He's got to be healthy for that. Is that warm ups when he's kicking it out to like his teammates shooting drills?
Yeah, that's it. But he's got to earn that cheese.
If we could get 6 points out of Parsons, I'd be happy this year. Fuck, can't wait to get rid of that guy. God damn. I'll be so happy. It'll be an emergency podcast when that happens. Emergency.
I feel so sorry for him. Man, he didn't ask for those knees.
Well, I've got a screaming child.
Oh, hey, you've glossed over. You forgot one key signing.
What's the key signing? I forgot.
Shabazz Muhammad signed with the Bucks today.
Oh, did he? I missed that. Wow.
He did.
Wow.
Come on, Shabazz. Fucking do something. God.
He is doing something. He's taking his shot at Mallory. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Maybe Shabazz is like 40 years old because there was questions on his birthday.
Yeah.
But I've been in his corner since day one. He's got to do something. This is the last year I'm going to defend him.
Does he, though? Oh, you outing him after this year. Okay.
Yeah. I'm usually pretty loyal, but come on, Shabazz.
Put your finger out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
How's your screaming child?
True to form.
Watch out! Here it comes. Watch out! Here it comes. Watch out!
Ball.